All right, guys. All right, guys, we are ready to start. Welcome to the Coaches Show with Coach Seth Parr, where we talk about all things Coyote football. We want to give a big start-out welcome and thank you to Texas Roadhouse for being the official restaurant of Coyote football. Let's give Texas Roadhouse and all of its great serving crew a big round of applause. Also, we're going to take a quick second to shout out Adon Complete Air and Heating. They are also sponsors of this show. We're very thankful for their sponsorship. If you haven't already or you have a need for air conditioning or heating solutions, Adon is the place to get you squared away. Give Adon a call. I know they would appreciate it greatly. And so, as always, we are joined here together. I'm Phil Morgan.
I'm Blake Rundy. And in between us is our head coach and athletics director, Seth Parr. Wow!
Don't let my wife cheer.
One loss and they don't even want to cheer for you anymore.
That's right.
Wow! Rough crowd.
All right. Well, hey, listen. I think it's no secret we came up just short against Melissa last week, right, Coach?
Yes.
And it felt like in all phases of the games at different times we were just a hair off, right? Whether it was offense at this period or defense or special teams. So as you had some space to watch the film and to reflect, what were some of your takeaways following last Friday's game?
Well, just in certain situations, sometimes luck comes into play. We're unlucky to have some situations pop up and throw the timing when we threw an interception. It was in the bad part of the game to throw an interception. Sometimes not all interceptions are the same. So if you're coming back down and if you give them give the ball in a certain field position other than backed up, that hurts. The snap situation on the 2-yard line was an unlucky situation, and sometimes that happens in football. And then when we got the ball and we turned it over, we took it away right before halftime. We didn't take advantage of that score, and we could have got 2 scores. So there's plenty of opportunities out there for us to change the game, but and then when we get the onside kick, that was good fortune for us. Then we got going and score. But Melissa had a lot to do with a lot of their winning. They won the game. And I give them all the credit. They did a great job. Now it's time to move on, and then hopefully we get to play again. I just think the atmosphere of the game, that's what Texas high school football is about. Both crowds did a great job, and they were involved. And, I think overall it was just a great high school football experience.
Indeed, Coach. We as we look ahead this week, we've got a Thursday game. And so I know that changes schedule, and I think a little bit like lift the curtain a little bit. What does that do for your guys' timetable? How does that change things in the course of a normal week as opposed to having a Friday game?
Well, luckily, in Lubbock and the places I've been in Amarillo, we've had a lot of Thursday games. So a lot of the strategy that has been made because of those games that Coach Rod took a part of, Coach G. And then even on Thursday nights, because, it takes a little bit to prepare for it. Number one, there's a time that's different from 7:30 to 7. That bumps everything up. Now you're talking about leaving. You're a visiting team. So now what time can you arrive at the stadium? We let our people arrive at a stadium at a certain time. They had their standard policy, so we like to have our operations crew go there and set everything up 30 minutes for the team there, but they can't arrive at Kirkendall until like 5 o'clock, so that will throw everything off. Once we get the arrival time, we work backwards from the time. Okay, it's a 7 o'clock game. We need this much time to pregame. We need this much time to kick. We need this much time to eat. We need this much time to tape. So usually it's a 45-minute tape session, and we do it by groups, and we have times, and then we roll the food around and stuff like that. But when we're playing a team that we can't get to the stadium and tape there, we're going to have to move everything, and so that means we might have to stay at Anna 30 minutes longer and do 2-minute and 4-minute at the stadium where we would, at our place where we would do it at Kirkendall. So whatever it is, it's that 30 minutes that we're going to have to take away. And then you got to look at traffic. You know, what time you leave, when the traffic's there, what time you can arrive there. Because we like to arrive 3 hours early because there's a 45-minute period where we have to eat and we do walkthroughs. This one's going to probably be a 2-hour arrival. So we got to put everything that we would do that 35 or 45 minutes in Anna. Then that affects Wednesday's practice. So if you have, like we have 4 Thursday games, if you don't practice and you do all the walkthroughs on Thursday, like it would be a Thursday, then you would miss 4 Wednesday practices, which everybody would be like, well, that's not a big deal. It's not a big deal until you got new kids that are here that are playing different positions. Then you need those Wednesday practices. So what our job is to understand where we're at as a team and then understand that Wednesday practice, because we got a Wednesday script. If you miss 4 of those, that's almost 50% of your practices, so or of the games. So we treat Wednesday without giving too much information out for some of these coaches that are playing Thursday. I want them to figure it out. But we treat Wednesdays like it's a regular Wednesday, and we have a regular practice. Now, we might take shoulder pads off that day or a helmet off. It all depends on what time of the season, but we will go through our Wednesday script. We'll do a transition during the period that we normally do. We split it half and half, and we'll do cards. Today we do a card period, which is a walkthrough, but lines up and runs the plays on Thursday afternoon. I mean, so that or Wednesday's practice. So then that will take place, and then afterwards it's a Thursday game lift and a Thursday game team dinner. So then we try to get back to normal. So
all right,
it's like a marriage that you got a split marriage and you're trying to share custody of the kid. It's kind of like that with time. You know, you're sharing the time between what you normally do on a game day as opposed to the day before a game. And we always do this too. You don't label it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, even though I just said that. It's really day 1, day 2, day 3, and then you got to label game day as game day. You can't label game day as Friday because game day can move, and then that takes your next day as day 1.
Okay.
So, it's a lot to it. We usually meet over it in the summer, and then we come up with a plan, and then once we made that plan up in the summer, then we try to stick with it, but we make the changes as that week when we'll bring it back up and we'll go for that. So we usually try to plan for a 16-week season.
So the big question is, if we have a Thursday game, that means Friday night's open. Is the head coach going to go scout a game on a Friday night in person, or are you gonna do that from home?
I'm going to get to go. My wife has signed me up, which I am glad, and I can't wait. Or I'm glad to attend. We're attending, what is it called? Midsummer Night's Dream by our theater arts
There you
team.
go.
There we go.
And,
I like it.
We're excited about that, and we're going to go and those kids come out and go to our games, and they do a lot of face painting, and they've come to our Meet the Coyotes, so we're going to go support them. And then afterwards, we might head to Brahms and maybe go watch somebody. So that's kind of the plan.
I'm laughing because I'm looking over here at Ann, kind of shaking her head. Ann's itching to get back on the mic and have another segment. No, she doesn't
She
want.
likes
We are not doing
right.
that tonight. We are not doing that
She likes to
tonight.
kick me off of this thing. Midsummer Night's Dream is at 7 p.m. at the Anna Auditorium.
on Friday evening.
Friday evening.
$5 for adults.
$5
Three for
for
students?
adults. Well,
Look at me just being able to pull prices
Yeah.
out. I didn't even know.
Will there be valet parking?
There will, and
She-
Phil, you just volunteered to
don't
be
know
the valet
that.
parker.
I did not do that. I did not do that. I did
well,
not.
Hey, let's talk about something that's a little bit non-football related in a way, right? We have all season to talk football. We're about halfway through the regular season. We got a little bit more to go, but you've agreed to kind of do something with Phil and I and Pin Oaks Christian Fellowship. We're putting on a Rise Men's Conference on October 18th. And so you've agreed to sit on a question and answer panel with us and kind of be a headliner guy for us, which I think is really exciting for us as pastors of Pin Oaks and exciting for our men's conference. And so part of what you're going to talk about is the topic of growing young men, right? And teaching boys to become men and men to become leaders. And that's kind of what you do week in and week out with football, right? It's more than just winning games. And so my question for you is, what is the importance of doing events like the Rise Men's Conference to you? And then do you feel like men should make a point of attending this conference?
Well, number one, I think it's an honor to be able to be asked to do something like that. And number two, what I think we try to do is teach men how to be men. And we do it through a game of football. But I think it's important for men to step up and understand what their role is as far as how to do certain things and what we feel like is the right way to do it. So, we think we're the protectors. We think men have to be worried about everybody around them and make sure everything is okay before it's something for us, right? So we're always serving others before we get to do something, and we're the protector of the culture of the family, we're the protector of the culture of where we're at, and we're a protector of our family. And when you do that, I think that's a big, important role that somebody has to take, and I think that's the man's responsibility.
That's well said, Coach. It's going to be a fun day. I think we've got Eddie Penny, who is a former Navy SEAL, not just a Navy SEAL, but he was a part of one of the most elite groups, the development group, Dev Group. And as a result of that, he's going to come share a little bit about his story alongside the things that we talk about. You got a guy named Dante Ramirez, who is the former owner and founder of Tender Barbecue. He's going to be doing a Brisket 101 class that day as part of one of our sessions. So guys are going to get to learn how to smoke a brisket or get some tips from one of the best. He is a pit master among the best in the nation. It's going to be an absolutely incredible day. I look forward to your part in it. I know it's going to mean a lot to people in our community to hear directly from you some of those things that you instill in the lives of these young men. And I think the men of our community are going to be fortunate. They don't understand yet how fortunate, but to hear from you and some of these other guys that day, I think it's going to be a real treat. And so I thank you just for accepting the invitation to be a part of it.
No, I appreciate the offer.
Yeah, so risemensconference.net is where you can go grab those tickets. It'll take you to the ticket link. That's going to be October 18th, man. We're so excited for that. Coach Parr, I know you're hungry. I think your plate just got over to your table. So we'll leave you with this. Any final thoughts as we go into Week 6 tomorrow night? Not Friday, tomorrow, game day.
Well, I told our guys that, they were pretty upset. They bounced back from practice a little bit this week, but, you look at it from just a year ago. I said, you're upset. We're 3-1. But last year at this time, we were 1-3.
Yeah.
And then we had a big turnaround. So what is going to happen? We got to bounce back. If you watched Alabama, they played, I believe, Florida State and got beat their first game. Mm-hmm. And then they had to go and play Georgia, and then they win the game. So that's a true tough team, is somebody that can bounce back from adversity. And I'm anxious to see how we bounce back.
Well, there you go. Coach Parr, as always, thank you for joining us for a little bit of time here tonight on the Coaches Show. We're going to take a quick sponsor break, and then we're going to hear from Coach Rigg coming up next.
All right. Tell my daughter and Rustin hello. Make sure you're doing your homework. All right. And then I'd like to thank my daughter over here, Danica, showing up for the first time or second time for me. So I appreciate my girls. Thank you.
right, well, we are back for our second segment of the evening, joined by our offensive coordinator, Coach Wilson Rigg. Coach Rigg, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me. There we go. There you go.
You got a little bit more love than Coach Parr got. That's got to make you feel good.
Are we keeping score?
We are.
Okay.
We are. Just know I keep a mental tally of all these
Always
things in my
keeping
head.
score, baby. None of this Monday night tie stuff.
No.
That was disgusting. I'm just going to go on the record while we're here. That was gross. You know, we play to win, Coach. We don't play to tie. We play to win.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
For anybody wondering, he's referencing the Cowboys game that
I said Monday night. I made it clear what I'm talking about, and I'm not happy about it, and so I'm going to take a segment with Coach Rigg, and I'm going to say what I'm going to say because I got a microphone. We don't play to tie. We play to win.
Is this where we tell him the game was on Sunday night?
Whatever. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean.
Well,
I know what you mean.
If Jordan Love holds that ball for one more second, you would have won, but
True.
couldn't get there.
Well, hey, listen, I think we always got to look backwards a little bit, and we can look forward as well. But last week, it felt like at different points in the game, Melissa was able to get some pressure onto Zai, more so than I think he's felt this season. So what did you feel was the cause of this? Were they using certain stunts or blitz packages on a regular basis? Kind of what did you see as you look backwards?
Yeah, so kind of going into the game, we knew one of the scouting report things, 99, their defensive tackle, nose tackle was, one of the better defensive linemen we'll probably see all season, if not the best. He's a really good football player, about 6'3", 245, 250, can move, has a really good motor, just a really, really good football player. And so we kind of knew going in that was going to be, unless we reshuffled the O-line, which we had just done a week or two before that was going to be something we had to kind of figure out and work on. So we had a plan going into it, and it worked. But at times late in the game then, we basically what we did, we took our fullback, and he was a second offensive lineman essentially, Bo Brown, working with Colton then to block 99. So we had two guys on him, and that worked for a lot of the game. But then once you kind of start having to score, open up the offense and stuff, you kind of lose having that fullback, so you need another receiver, have to open it up, have to get another receiver downfield, and that kind of, at the end, that's what happened. We just got beat by a guy that's a really good football player. And so a couple other times when they got a blitz home, it was something that we usually can bump out to, but because of kind of how we were setting our protection and stuff, we had to sort of adjust. And, it was one of those that Zai knew coming in that there were probably going to be a free rush or two, but we'd rather them be off the edge than right up the middle. That's kind of how, any protection that you're building, you'd rather have pressure outside than right up the middle. It allows the quarterback to do some stuff, which, Zai had a couple pretty good scrambles for about, 100 yards that were utilized them trying to get outside.
One of the guys I thought really stepped up in that role, as you talked about, like obviously Bo Brown, but another guy that I saw doing a lot of blocking was Ace Traylor.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I thought he stepped up and did a really nice job out of the backfield of chipping a guy or getting a helmet on a guy before he would go out into the flat or things like that to give Zai a little bit more time. So, as you kind of talk about that, talk about Ace's performance as a blocker, a role that he hasn't had to do in the backfield a lot.
Yeah, so, Ace, for those of you who don't know, was a slot receiver for us all last year. Played a little bit of fullback, a little bit of tight end, but primarily a slot receiver. But is one of those kids that we know whatever we need done, he can do it. And so when we were looking at it, when we were in, our 10 personnel, have one running back, 4 receivers, then we knew that he'd be the guy to help out. We knew he could handle it. That's no problem. This is a guy that's been literally playing running back for 3 weeks now, I think, 2 weeks, something like that. Some of the runs he had were just absolutely ferocious. It was, you're watching him on film, and it's, a 0 or 1 yard gain, and somehow we're getting 6 or 7. He just earned so many of those yards and made a lot of our downs a lot more manageable and put us into better positions by him being there. So, the running, the catching, the blocking, we know that wherever we put him, if he wasn't such a dang good running back and receiver, he'd be playing fullback or be playing tight end, whatever we need him. So we know he's willing. He's a guy that you look at, he takes so many shots all game, And at halftime, you asked him, "Hey, Ace, how are you doing?" He said, "Good, coach. I'm ready."
Of course he did.
You know.
Hey, so let's shift gears. Let's have fun a little bit. We joke, Blake and I joke about every week. Coach's show is the exact same show. Can't get you guys to say nothing. We try. We ask the questions, right? We ask the questions, and we do our best, but y'all are pretty good at your job, so you keep everything under wraps. This one, I think you can talk a little more freely about. You've played a pretty high-level college football, and I think for those that don't know, this will be a great opportunity to talk about, especially like looking back on that. What was one of your favorite games from college, and what was it that made that such a special game? And tell everybody a little bit about your days.
So my freshman year at the University of Missouri, we were really good. We had some very good players. Had Alden Smith was defensive end, had Blaine Gabbard, our quarterback. We had, guys all over the field that were really good players. Henry Josie, Marcus Murphy. We had Mitch Morris, who actually just retired. I backed him up. He was our center, played for about 10, 15 years in the league. Our offensive line had 4 guys who played more than 3 or 4 years in the NFL at center. Wow. So it was a really, really, really talented group. Had just skill guys, defensive. Any number of guys on the field, but we were a really good football team. We were number 4 or 5 in the country, and we got to we won a big game at San Diego State, win it on the last second, throw a quick little screen out there. Our guy scores from about 60 yards. We're going to lose the game, and the next week then we're playing a number 1 team called Oklahoma. It was.
By the way, real quick, just a casual. We were the number 4 or 5 team in the country. Just got dropped on the coach's show. Just blew right past like it's no big deal. Yeah. Come on, Coach Reed. That's pretty stinking awesome.
Being a Missouri Tiger, 4 or 5 team. Not a big deal. But but so rolling into it, Missouri had never been part of College Game Day. It had never been at Columbia. Never been on Mizzou's campus. So College Game Day actually came to Missouri, and it was the biggest crowd ever at a college game day. It was something crazy, like 200,000 people. It was nuts. We get to the game, go to kick it off. Mind you that this is a team in Oklahoma. It's got Landry Jones, DeMarco Murray is the number 1 team in the country, is the consensus pick to win the national title. And then the first play, they kick it off to us, and one of our guys fumbles the ball, and then returns it all the way to for a touchdown. On the first play, that place went nuts. I was standing by guys like I'm right with you guys. I was having to scream, and you still couldn't hear each other. It was one of the coolest sort of situations you'll ever be a part of. It was just an electric crowd, and just beating the crap out of the Sooners is never a bad thing.
Your time's coming, Mayor. Your time's coming. That's all I'm going to say.
I forgot Pastor's Oklahoma
your
guy.
time. You forgot. No, you did not forget. Coach, you don't forget anything. I swear you're like a sports almanac up there. You don't forget a single thing. It was on purpose. I'll take it. I'm a big man in that regard. I can take it. It was a good game. It was a really good game. It's cool that you share that story with us. Thank you so much for talking about that, even though it's a day that I would love to forget for the rest of my life.
What was the final score?
I don't remember exactly what the score was, but they, at the end, I think we were up by 8, and they had to do a bunch of laterals, and it was kind of pathetic.
It was not good.
It was a sad showing. Yeah, we had a DN return a fumble for a touchdown.
Now let's be careful when we start talking about laterals being sad, because this team has won some games.
We have. There's no doubt.
Doing some pretty spectacular stuff like that.
Yeah.
My favorite team back then couldn't get it done, but
that is true.
This team's done it. So
till Jacob Emmers made me a believer in those laterals.
There you go.
I didn't know if I was.
There you go.
There you go. Well, I think one of my takeaways from that is just how much the atmosphere of the crowd and the fans can impact the game on a Friday night, a Saturday night, a Saturday afternoon. And so it's always a reminder to our fans, whether we're home or away, show up, because these boys feed off of that. It makes it memorable. It makes it special. They'll look back. Whether they play college football or not, they'll look back one day and remember some of these crowds that they got to play in front of in some of these big games. So to Coyote fans, keep showing up, keep being loud.
Be loud.
Whether you can bring the vuvuzelas or not, doesn't
No
matter.
doubt.
You have a voice, you have
Yep.
feet, you can stomp and get loud.
There's no doubt.
There you go. Well, hey, Coach Rick, thank you for joining us. I know you want to go finish that steak over there, brother.
It's gone, baby.
It's gone.
It's gone.
All right. Well, that's been Coach Rigg. We're going to take another break, and then we're going to bring Coach Rod up on the show. All right. Well, we are back after that word from Pin Oaks Christian Fellowship, and sorry, it took a second to come out of the commercial break. Danica was being super generous and offering us some fried pickles. So, Danica, shout out to you. I appreciate that. Thank you for being kind and offering to share with us. That's awesome. We are joined by Coach Rod, our special teams coordinator and wide receivers coach.
Nope.
All right, so Coach Rigg is still number one on the applause list tonight, and that got more applause from Coach Rigg.
Yeah.
So question number one, Keyshawn Miles, go.
Oh, man, hey, 9 catches, almost 200 yards, electrifying, made big plays for us when we needed it, and, still the crazy thing about it is a lot of those plays he still doesn't know what he's doing, right? So, just can't wait to see what he's able to do and what he's capable of once he figures out what he's supposed to be doing, and it's going to be just exciting to see. The big plays that he made, there were plays when we needed a big time play to happen, and he came up and stepped up big and was able to extend one of those drives when we're in 4th and long, makes a big catch, and
Basically fourth in the game.
yeah.
For all intents and purposes, right?
Yeah, it was 4th and forever, and the crazy thing about it is, we call a play that's not one of our base plays, and he runs it for the most part pretty good. Zai, slushed out of the pocket to the right a little bit, and he's able to find him going across the middle, and he just goes up, makes the catch, and he just takes off towards the sideline and is able to get us down to the 1 yard line, and we're able to score.
Let's talk about the end of that play. Talk about the end of that play. I was right there where it happened, and I'm like, oh.
Well,
everything in me was like, oh.
Little frustrating that he took that shot because we had Michael who could have helped cut a defender off right there, could have used a tree block technique to be able to prevent that from happening. But it was a big hit, and I was worried there for a second, not thinking that he was going to come back out to play football for us again. But he's still on the team.
And
he's still loving every part of it, and
he kept a hold of the ball.
Yeah, and he kept holding on to the ball.
Yep. He took that. That was a shot. It was on our stat show.
Yeah.
I caught it. I didn't send it to the young man because I'm pretty sure he never wants to relive that moment. And in fact, afterwards, I was doing an interview, and somebody yelled at Keyshawn, and he's like, huh? And I'm like, look, he got hit so hard he can't hear anymore.
The funny thing about that is we're recapping the game in the locker room with some of our guys like Zai, Keyshawn is still in there, and talking about that play with Keyshawn and talking about the hit, he was like, "Nah, man." I was like, "I felt it, but my girlfriend was in the stands, and I couldn't let her, see me that I was soft, so that
That's so.
So
awesome.
he's like, I had to get back up and act like nothing happened. So.
Here's what I'll tell you. For those of you who don't know, Keyshawn is a basketball player first.
Yeah.
Right, and he's a pretty good ball player. I've gotten to have him a couple of times when he's been at Rock Hill, and so I've actually had him when he's been on the court. But he took that pass and ran like he was on a fast break for basketball, forgetting that there are dudes that want to absolutely kill him on the court as well. In basketball, I'm ejecting the player, Rocky Dunn, for hitting him like that. Yeah. And so he forgot. He must have just been like, I'm in basketball fast break mode. I can lay this up for free. Yeah. And there came Rocky Dunn.
Well, the other thing that he said that was really funny was, on TV, when the guys usually past everybody, they usually don't come and hit him. So I thought I was good, and then I just get blasted on the side.
Don't believe everything you see on TV.
I think he learned head on a swivel after that hit. Yeah. My favorite moment after the game with Keyshawn, by the way, and then we'll go to question 2 after this. But my favorite moment, I went up to him after the game, and I said this on the stat show. I said, Key, bro, you had 8 for 190 is what our guys had live during the game, right? Yeah. 8 for 190, Key. That's ridiculous. Like that, and he goes, is that a good game? I said, Key. I go, brother. I said, Keyshawn, you had 75 yards. That's a good game. Yeah. You get 100 to 150. It's a fantastic game. You get 190 yards. You were running all over the defense all night long. And he was like, oh, I didn't know.
No, yeah, he's done some amazing things for us. And again, I mean, you just kind of just talking it with y'all. I mean, you see on just kind of where he's at with still learning and being able to. Yeah, he hit 22.3 miles per hour on our tie-in tracking system. So he was 22.6.
That's 1.3 miles an hour faster than Mr. Kennedy was bragging about in his pregame interviews the week before.
Don't be running through a school zone during school hours with that, right? Because you'll be pulled over for speeding.
He's going to get a ticket. He's going to get a ticket. Well, look, special teams is also something you do. We had a lot of fun watching Keyshawn, but special teams has been, I think, for the most part, as a fan, watching them executing at a pretty high level this year. Yeah. We had a moment. I think you'd like to have it back, and I'm sure you guys have dissected it and torn it apart, and you have educated these young men as a result of that. But they've been functioning at a pretty high level. Right. What happened? Let's go back on that one particular play. What allowed them to break that open? How'd that take place?
Yeah, well, it first started with the kick. We wanted Dez to get it out the back of the end zone, and a lot of our coverage this year has been, a lot of those kicks have been out the back of the end zone. Yeah. And it started there where our coverage team assumed that he was going to get it out the back of the end zone, right? So our effort and our speed covering wasn't as good. And as a returner starts to feel the ball and as a return starts to unfold, we had some guys that weren't reading their keys correctly, and we had some guys that were in just because it was, it was a big physical game. We had some subs that were in that weren't entirely sure what they had to do on how they had to fit the return. And, we had one of our guys that tried to avoid late into the coverage instead of run, steer, and two-gap the returner. And what that did was that created a big old seam in the middle, right? Mm-hmm. Returner sees it, hits it there. We also have another guy as our fold player that doesn't really get to work it in practice because of the way our Kyle time in practice is set up. And it's not all his fault. We just needed somebody to go and, do what they can. And he wasn't 100% sure. And when we needed our fold player to fold, he wasn't there. And then that's where he was able to break it. And then luckily, though, our Xavier Flanagan was able to hustle down and, prevent a score from happening. Yep. But we put our defense in a bad spot there. In my opinion, that's where I feel like, a lot of the momentum starts to shift back to their way. They get that big old return, and then they get 7 points after that. So
there you go. Well, hey, listen, we asked Coach Rigg kind of a fun question. You've got a history with Coach Parr. He just walked off.
And he's not in the room.
He just walked off, so now's the time to ask it, all right? So I got to ask you a question. Is Coach Parr still the same after losses today as he was when you were playing for him? Or has he gotten a little bit softer as he's gotten older in his age?
No, he's still the same. Anytime he loses, his food ain't gonna taste as good, right? His weekends are gonna be more miserable. He's not gonna be in a happy mood, right? You're gonna see less smiles from him, but he doesn't dwell on it. He understands that, hey, we gotta just get back to work and we gotta move on and we gotta continue to get better, and we gotta be able to fix the mistakes that we had, and you can't get better and you can't improve by just dwelling on those things. So he's still been good.
Do you have a favorite Coach Parr after a lost memory or story about something he did to get the team back focused, or an analogy he used or something like that? I mean, I'm putting you on the spot with that one, I know, but.
Okay. So this is a crazy one. This was my junior year, and we're playing our rival, Paladuro, which at the time his dad was the head coach there. I was out. I had a broken hand injury, but we were in a chance to make the playoffs, and we needed to be able to win against Paladuro to make it. So it was a big week, and been going on a losing streak there. So he was trying to get the team motivated, right? So during that week on Thursday, the night before the game, or the day before the game, he tells us the locker room is trash, and he tells us, hey, some players from PD, came and trashed our locker room, this and that, and it didn't. The way some of our guys responded was not good, and let's just say this, that we had 4 or 5 stars that didn't get to play the next day. So.
Oh no! That one backfired a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Oh, man. Coach Rod, it's always fun to have you on. You guys, it's great when we can find some questions that'll pull some of this stuff out of you guys. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for, and, we're looking ahead. Any thoughts about looking ahead for the game that we have on Thursday before we let you go?
No, yeah, we just got to continue to get better. It doesn't matter who we're playing. Doesn't matter the situation. Each day, each game, we got to continue to get better, and that's the number one goal. So we gotta keep going.
All right, that's Coach Rodriguez. Thank you for joining us. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to bring Coach Severe on up to close us out for the evening.
All right, guys, we are back. We are joined by Coach Severe, our defensive coordinator. Let's give it up for Coach Severe.
Appreciate y'all.
So it's official. Coach Severe is the winner of the applause award tonight. That's going to be a sticker once they come in on your helmet.
Don't worry about the tips I gave him earlier.
Oh, man. Look, Coach, thanks for joining us. We always love having you on. Looking backwards, we try to spend one question looking back and then move forward. Looking back, it kind of felt like our defense had some key moments, some big stops along the way for sure. Plenty to be looking at and be excited about. But there's some trouble. It felt like stopping that read option against Melissa. What did you see on film to kind of help our guys begin to start cleaning up that performance and continue to take steps getting better? These guys are capable, and they showed that. How are you going to get them there? And I got a follow-up question after that.
Yeah, I think first things first, you got to give credit to them. I thought they executed very well in some key spots in an intense game, and that was the name of the game. They executed a little bit better than us. I thought there was a few times there was 4 third downs, 4 third and longs that we could have had a stop and we just couldn't get it. A couple of them were really hotly contested balls. They threw one out on Israel. It could have been he had a great break. It could have been a pick six, or it could have been a deflection. Their guy ended up catching it and going 60 yards, and kind of essentially was a game winner. So there's a lot of close plays. There's one other one where we got pressure on the quarterback. He stepped up, flushed out of the pocket, ran for a first down. So it was frustrating that we couldn't get off the field in some of those key third downs. They did some new things in the game that they hadn't shown this year, and it took us a little bit to adjust. But ultimately, they made more plays than us in those big key spots, and it's something we can learn from. There's a lot of film we watched, and some of it was us, some of it was them, and we'll get better for it.
I feel like the second year in a row we've played them close, and this game was close. No matter what anybody wants to say, you look back, it's one or two plays, and that's the difference when it comes down to it. How do you get a team in the right place, back in the right headspace, right, when they've had this close game, and there seems to start to be kind of a history? How do you move them from feeling like this is our history, this is going to be who we are, to like living up to the potential that they truly do have?
I don't know. There's a saying that I've heard before, like you can't stop losing you can't start winning until you stop losing. And the big thing is we can't make mistakes. I think in some key spots we made mistakes, and if we go out and execute and play well, I think we win that game. We didn't play well, and they did, so they got to win the game. But it wasn't. You don't go away from that game thinking, man, we can't play with those guys, or we can't beat those guys. It's like, hey, if we play better, if we do our job, if we do the things we're capable of doing, we're going to go win that game. And we still had a chance to win the game, and we just came up a couple plays short. So as a competitor, you always want to get back in the ring, in the circle, on the field, and compete. And so it doesn't matter who we're playing. The goal is to win, and I don't think our guys are afraid of anybody.
Well, there you go. Hey, next question for you. One of your daughters, Avery, actually got to come with you last week. You guys sat right over here. She got a bunch of chicken tenders. I think she got to take some home, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Got to watch her dad be famous.
Yeah. She came with you to coach a show. Did she have any thoughts for you on your YouTube performance last week? Did she break down game film with you?
Not so much. She's the more encouraging one. Avery's very motherly, and she's always. I could have been terrible, and she would have told me I did a good job.
Okay.
She's a very now my 6-year-old Ainsley, she would pick out all the flaws and let me know what I did wrong, but luckily she wasn't here, so she didn't get to see it. My wife got some chuckles out of some of the interactions on the show, so it was a good time. Not too much negative feedback though. Avery's a pretty good, encouraging lady.
There you go. Well, I think kind of on a more serious note, and where I kind of wanted to head at the end of the day with this question was, at different points this season, every single one of you guys as coaches and coordinators who have been on this show have had family that have shown up and been there to support you. What is the importance of having a strong family and a strong support system behind you for a job that has long hours, that has one expectation to always win? So kind of what does it mean to have that support system that comes with you to these type of shows, that shows up at the game and is there to love you when you're home?
First of all, it's you spend more time with other people's kids than your own sometimes.
Yeah.
And giving rides, picking kids up, feeding kids, and that's part of it. That's part of why we do this, because we love people, we love kids. So that doesn't change anything the way I would ever do it. Sure. But you see, you get to see your kids, and when you come in, and I forget the author's name or the singer's name, but there's a Front Door Famous song by a country singer that came out last year that when I walk in the front door, it doesn't matter how the practice went, it doesn't matter how the game went. My two daughters, my 19-year-old as well, but she's a little bit older now.
Yeah.
But my two younger daughters and my son scream, "Daddy, Daddy's home," and doesn't get any better than that. So, last Friday night was tough. And like I said, Avery's a really encouraging, motherly figure, and she told me, "Dad, you did really good. You just barely lost. You did really good, Dad. I love you." And then my Ainsley told me, "Dad, you need to calm down." you're a little bit too crazy on the sidelines. You need to calm down a little bit. Okay.
Did you show her film of Coach Porter?
I did not. But she was there, and she just told me, Dad, I just need to calm down a little bit. I was a little concerned for you. So, it was good to see them. It make you smile. They make you happy, and doesn't matter how the game goes. They love you, and that's always fun.
And they're watching. I mean, isn't that powerful to think you don't have to tell them to watch you. They're watching you because they're you're their dad. And they're looking at everything you do, and they're watching every single thing you do. And what a cool thing to have daughters who will come and speak life into you. You know what? That's a product of good raising right there, brother. That's a product of good raising.
Yeah, and I would be amiss to not mention my wife. She's the one who does all the hard work, and I get to do something I love to do and have a lot of fun doing it. And she gets to do all the work at home to make sure I can do it and make sure our kids are well fed and are doing good in school and all those things that I don't always get to do. She does for me, so it's been really good.
It's a good opportunity for us to break and give you guys the chance, based on Coach Severe's leadership there, to thank all these coaches' wives who allow these guys to do what they do. So you can do that right now.
Yeah, Pete Kane Mayor Pete Kane is correct. The voice of the Coyote Mayor Pete Kane is correct. We have a new winner. It is the wives and families of the coaches that allow them to do what they do to impact the lives of these young men.
Well, that's good.
Absolutely.
That's really good. Well, Coach, thank you so much for joining us. I know we're looking forward. Now, as you look forward to this last game, I gave Coach Rodriguez the same question. I'll just throw it out to you too. Thursday game day. What are you looking at your side of the ball? What are you looking at to come out of your guys for this game?
I think we Coach Parr mentioned the team meeting today, but we fancy ourselves as guys that love football, and it's an opportunity to play football. Mm-hmm. It's an opportunity to compete. It's an opportunity to do something that we love to do, that we prepare to do all year, and it doesn't really matter who we play. I mean, there's going to be obviously Melissa, a lot of people in the stands last week, and there might be less people in the stands this week. But that's not why we're playing. We're not playing for the audience. We're not playing for the applause. We play because we love the game, and we coach because we love the game. So any opportunity we have to do that, it's a good opportunity, and it's hopefully an opportunity where a lot of guys get the chance to play and do really well.
Well, there you go. Hey, Coach Parr, do you still need to come up for an emergency segment?
I can tell them what really happened.
All right. Well, hey, we're gonna do a quick transition. Maybe just throw up the Pin Oaks ad, and we're gonna bring Coach Parr up here. He needs to do an emergency segment. All right. Well, we are back for a final emergency segment that has actually become a normal emergency segment here on the Coaches Show on Wednesday evenings from Texas Roadhouse. I'm joined by Coach Seth Parr once again, and Danica over here has decided to make her first appearance on the show. Danica, new winner. Hey, listen, so Coach Parr said I need to set the record straight. So, Coach, we're going to give you that opportunity. And Danica saying, I know what happened. I was there. But there might be some contesting on the date this happened versus Danica's birth date.
Yeah,
We'll kind of leave that one alone. Coach Parr, go ahead and take it away.
Danica was like 1 or 2, maybe not even born yet. So she was close.
Alive.
She was 3. That's what Ann's saying off screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, she might have been 3.
Okay.
But she doesn't know what's going on. She knew Dora the Explorer and Little Einstein. She was really good.
Little Einsteins, there you go.
She was really good. But here's the deal. I want to set the record straight because that was one of our people. My dad was the other coach, so I don't want him thinking that that was planned. I had 2 assistant coaches that thought that would be a good idea to rile them up and went and destroyed the locker room and did say PD did it. So I get a phone call from the Amarillo and the Palo Duro Police Department saying, we have some of your kids detained, and they spray painted some things, and then they misspelled some words that was struggled with that. And I asked, do what? And then they told me, said, Coach, we got them. We didn't let them do that to our locker room. So I was like, what's going on? And then everybody found out, and we had to suspend them. And I had 2 coaches come in there, and they thought it was a good idea. And they were like, they couldn't believe it. That all went down like that. So we have never done that ever again. So we just go and play the game. We don't play the well, she says I didn't discourage it, but I didn't know it was going to happen. All right? I am glad they showed some initiative, because we were pretty bad at that time. We needed some juice. That just wasn't it. All right, so it was a lonely Friday night. We already weren't very good, and then when those 4 out, we were really not very good. But we had the joy of going to play and getting that L. All right, so from the dad. So not only did I destroy a school, I got beat by him as well. So that wasn't a good night.
Well, there you go. So the record has been straight. It was a couple of assistant coaches. Oh.
Hold up. Everything he just said, I'll let him talk. I am told that is not true. Everything happened the way Victor said it did.
She's a big Victor fan. So that a little bit discouraging. She likes Coach Rod better than her dad sometimes. So.
All right. Well, hey, thank you for coming back up and setting the record straight. Y'all, this has been another edition of the Coaches Show live from Texas Roadhouse. Let's give a big hand to all of our coaches that appeared on the show, to their families, and, of course, to Danica as well. Y'all have a great night. Make sure you tip your servers well, and we'll see you tomorrow night at Kuykendall Stadium.